no motivation. So like, a lot of people like you were talking about, Bree, say, I don't know, I want to start a fucking bakery. They try to come up with every reason why they can't do it instead of taking that first step. And
Yeah, but it's like all programming, I guess, like we were talking about, I think, last week, just about nobody, like, you just stop believing in yourself. Like, you believe in yourself, but like that believe in yourself that nobody can tell you nothing. It just unfortunately, dwindles down as you get older, so once you hit like 40, 45, you got to really, train your mind to believe that you can do something that, people have told you is hard to do.
yeah, no, there's levels to it for
That's why,
sure.
like,
Yeah, I think yeah, society, like we were talking about before, society as people get older, it just kind of takes motherfuckers' willpower and
the sparkle, it
yeah,
takes the sparkle.
the spark out of your ass. But then you still got a lot of motherfuckers that been through the same beating that life done gave, but they still aggressive. They still fighting to get every little thing they can get out of life, which is the hustler or the hustle mentality.
But the
So
hustlers are people most of the time, the hustlers are people that know what it is to not have nothing. Not saying that there's people who are hustlers that have came from really good families. I'm sure there are, but in my opinion, my humble opinion, and how many major cities I've lived in and how many people I've came across in my 15 years of being out of high school, I believe a lot of times, unfortunately, people who kind of come from, either a good family or come from, having money, background, it's harder for them to kind of get into that, well, by any means necessary mode.
mm, like
And I'm not giving them an excuse. I'm just trying to, make it make sense. Like, it makes sense that they don't have that. I need to have two, three, four different side hustle mentalities. And they're just okay with having that one job that might give them anywhere from, 50 to 100K a year. Because that's what we were programmed as well,
oh yeah.
especially when you go into higher education.
No, you talking facts. Like a lot of us have been like, like from my era since I'm, way older than you. Like back in our day was like, shit. Remember Trish, like, shit, get you a good job, at least making 50,000. Like 50,000 used to be like 100,000, like
It was the
way,
mecca.
yeah, back then. But now,
Yeah.
well, not even back,
Oh yeah,
not even
that was like you had a very good job. If you made 50,000, you was pretty much almost rich.
exactly. And then, and then at one point now it became 100K, but nowadays you need to be making damn near 2 or 300,000 to really be chilling, you know what I mean? But even
Yeah.
regardless of the salary, the base salary, within that hustle motivated mentality, the person that's still even making 300K is still gonna be doing something extra. You know what I mean?
I
And
don't know, Dre. I don't know a lot of, like, I mean, I guess when you do get to that level, yes, 300K, of course you're probably you probably are investing and have your hands in different pots, but a lot of those people just be okay with 150, 200,000 a year, and they cool. Like, they going to do their little 401K, they going to keep it how it is, and they going to keep it pushing. There's really, I would love to chat GPT it and see what percentage of America that makes over, let's say, 150,000 has a second job. I don't think that's a high number. I mean, listen, you could tell me if I'm wrong and chat GPT it, but
so the second job piece, to me, that's a dead um way of thinking. Like even like if I was trying to get more money, I would never get a second job because that's a whole other set of logistics. You know what I mean? Just to go from point A to point B for people who don't work full time remote, you have gas, you got the wear and tear on your vehicle just to get from home to job A. Now you throwing in another fucking math equation of going from job A to job B and then finally back home. Oh my god. That's like some whole extra shit going on. But let me see. What percentage of Americans?
No, I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
it has to make sense. Yeah.
I'm just trying to like make it make sense that like I think most people have like ambition in them, but I think you only really have that hustle when you always had to have that hustle. You know what I mean? I don't think you once you like you get a 150,000, 250,000, $300,000 job. I don't know. I don't really feel like other than investing that those people are genuinely like have a hustle. You know what I mean?
Well, before we get into my opinion, we're gonna go to your ChatGPT question. So the AI basically said about 5 to 5.5% of employed Americans hold a second job. So
Yeah,
that's
that's low.
so that's about 8.9 million people that's working multiple jobs, and then they say, and that's
Oh, but how much are they making?
and this is
I don't mean.
this is
Yeah, go ahead.
comparable
Sorry.
to the Great Recession. So then it goes further. In May 2025, about 5.3 of workers were multiple job holders that work seasonal. In early 2025, the figure averaged between 5.3 and 5.5%, a high not seen since 2009. And then the last pieces of it, while surveys often present higher numbers, like 36% of adults reporting side hustles, this that include gig work, freelance, and side gigs. Um, the data only counts individuals who held two or more paid jobs. So like it's conflicting figures. So only 5.5% of people have a second job, but they saying 36% of the adults in America got side hustles. So it's two, it sounds like the same thing, but it's really two different things.
Yeah,
So to
job
me,
and side hustle could be different because
because
a job is
yeah,
something that's always coming. A side hustle, you might not make the same.
exactly. But the side hustle could bring you greater rewards. And if you apply yourself enough with that side hustle, that shit could fuck around and replace your day job. Where if you like, if I'm working at, I don't know, Home Depot for my day job, and then my second job is working fries at McDonald's, no matter how nice I am with the fries, I can't own the fries. I can't own the McDonald's. Well, you could in theory, but you know, what I mean, you still trapped into a job with a low pay and a low ceiling. Where if I worked at Home Depot during the day, and then the side hustle is because I see all these motherfuckers that are contractors and this, that, and the third, and maybe I start working as a consultant, plugging people who need work done with the actual contractors that I see every day from my day job. Now I'm putting some shit together where this might be very lucrative because I'm getting connects every day from my day job, and I'm also meeting potential customers every day from my day job. You know what? I need somebody to redo my kitchen. I know the right motherfuckers for you. Matter of fact, my fee is this. So, you know, I
Yeah, I
just
mean, no, for sure, for sure. You if you want to make your second job work for you, a lot of people at Nike were doing that. Like they were working at Nike part time, but they might have been a coach or might have been a trainer.
exactly.
And they were giving out their business cards and stuff like that.
Exactly. And then that training
Yeah.
shit, like, you know, that's a nice little lane too. You know, it's just a matter of getting that clientele. And like I think I was telling you, like with my son's trainer for basketball, his story was very inspiring and motivational. Like, dude worked when he came to the city of Atlanta, he from, you know, Ohio. When he came to the city of Atlanta, he worked at Walmart at first to kind of get his shit together because he had got out of prison or whatever. So that was like rock bottom, like in the TV and the movies. Like you walk out the jail and then there's the Greyhound to take you to that one place that you get to pick, and they dropped him off here, and he you know he got the job at Walmart while stocking shelves one day. He heard some dad on the next aisle yelling, I guess, on the phone from how it sounded, and he was mad that his son wasn't getting playing time. He walked around the corner to the next aisle and was like, "Yo, bro, what's going on?" And then dude was just clearly frustrated, like, yeah, my son, he been on the team for X amount of time, but he don't get to touch the floor at all, and he just at his wits end. His son mad as fuck, you know what I mean, and the son was a white boy, you know what I mean, and he said, "Do I could do this for you, you know what I mean? Bring your boy to such and such park, and I can meet you over there, and show him a couple of things." And then, they met. The father was impressed with what he showed him. And then just off that one training session, he said the boy must have did and demonstrated what he learned that weekend in practice to get onto the floor. He ain't played like hella minutes, but he played like 2 or 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Which is a major level up, at least in that situation. The father came back to dude and was like, I can't have my coach working at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? My son's trainer, I can't have him working at, because it was a, kind of wealthy, white dude. You know what I mean? So from his ego standpoint, you know what I mean? Like, you clearly have talent and skill, but I can't have you working here if you're gonna be training my son. So dude literally walked out of fucking Walmart, worked with this white boy every day. Dude started, breaking him off real bread to train his boy. He got the white boy top notch to where the white boy was a starter on the team, dunking on niggas, all that fly shit. And then at that point, once he seen that he did that, he ended up getting another kid, then another kid, and then like, it was like, we literally meeting niggas at parks. They might be outside raining, it's full on raining. He still got niggas dribbling in the rain because he ain't come up on a facility yet. You know what I'm saying? Like a gym that he could work out of. But he just kept with it to the point where this nigga got at least about 50 plus kids on any given week. You know what I mean? He really have more than that, but like the lowest I've seen is about 50 kids. And now he trained, half of the former retired NBA players kids down here in the city, you know what I mean? But
Wow.
if that ain't motivation,
Like a good podcast story if you can get him for a podcast or tell his
Yeah.
story.
oh yeah, no, we've
You
been
know,
recording this whole time. Yeah, this is gonna be on an episode. This shit going up tonight. But yeah, shit. We all have either done it or we all know somebody personally that y'all probably have witnessed you know go from having a basic idea and you watch them step by step make that shit manifest.
Nah, for sure. That's what a lot of people, man. If people could just believe that that shit works, like you just gotta pretend. Like I always use the same nigga, Kanye. Like if you are not Kanye, if you are not believing in yourself like Kanye, you need to believe in yourself like Kanye, and you need to look in the mirror every day till you think you Kanye. Because, like I always tell y'all, I believe wholeheartedly, my life is where it's at, just believing that I could do this, believing, and honestly I need to be better with it, because sometimes I do, have self-sabotaging, thoughts. And if you just stay on that path of believing whatever you want to be is gonna be, yeah, you will be that. You just got to put in the action.
Oh yeah, no, and we all are guilty of that shit. Don't get it fucked up. Like even I go through them old phases and shit. But I go through a phase where I have to curse myself. I look in the mirror and be like, nigga, what the fuck are you doing? The
Exact.
fuck
No,
are you doing? Get
literally,
your shit together, nigga. You talk about you
I
want
told
this
you I
and
got those
this.
sticky notes
What are you
everywhere.
doing to get from here to there? Like literally. And
Exactly.
you know what I mean? And I got that
Exactly.
shit from my uncle, cause like this nigga, that nigga, he would be on that shit. Like that nigga would be straight mad and curse himself out. You bitch ass nigga.
No, I do that. I dead ass do.
And
I'd
then
be
I
like,
see
come
that,
on,
and
like
then I
fucking
see the
stop.
nigga like that next week or like a month or two later, like whatever that thing was, like like if you somebody getting that new truck or getting this, he finally done got it, but he had to goddamn you know deal with that mental and fight past the saboteur to get to the hustler side of himself. You know what I mean? What the fuck you doing, man? Wake your ass up.
Exactly.
You know, we all have to give each other, give yourself that self talk. Because the thing is, we have to encourage ourselves, because a lot of times we get dependent on, maybe not so us, but a lot of people get dependent on people around them, pouring into them, encouraging them, whatever. If you only depend on that, you're going to be disappointed every time, because people have their own struggle and things they dealing with or whatever. Like, you gotta, sometimes it may just be you that believing in what you're trying to do. So you gotta
No, for
encourage yourself.
sure.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And then like
Yeah,
You
you
know, I
got to be
got
your
it.
biggest fan. You
and
got
then
to be your
Yeah.
biggest
and then
fan.
the other
Mhm.
piece of it, like somebody was saying, there's gotta be an emotional component. So like somebody was saying, it might have been that video from back in the early 2000s, The Secret or whatever. Like what the difference between Nick, well, I ain't gonna say Nick, but say person A who wants a car and person B who desires a car. You know what I mean? The person who just want it, they want a material thing, but they ain't putting no emotional energy into it. The person who desires that car, they probably looking at the shit online, or they looking in the car magazines. They got the picture, cut out somewhere on their wall. They rubbing their hands together. They're like, nigga, I'm about to pull some extra shifts at the job. I'm about to, do something. I gotta get this motherfucking car. Like, you know what I mean? Like they almost obsessed with it, but you gotta be somewhat obsessed. Like we were talking about before, I think. Nigga, you gotta stalk this money, nigga.
No, bro, you got to be obsessed with the dream.
Yeah, yeah, like the same way some clown nigga for free is uh peeking in a shorty window and following her and looking everywhere she go here, he go there. He's stalking a shorty and ain't getting no motherfucker. Nigga, you better stalk this motherfucking money. And to these
Yeah.
females, y'all better stalk y'all goddamn dreams. Same way, like in that same scenario, if the girl go here and now the crazy nigga going over here to follow her, if if your dream is to be a dancer and they having a dance competition over here, then nigga, you better be the fuck over there. If they have another one over here, then you better be the fuck over there. You supposed to be everywhere that shit is.
Yeah, you're supposed
Period.
to dream the dream.
You gotta stalk the dream. Fuck dreaming the dream.
Mhm.
The stalking is my, exaggerated way of saying putting the motherfucking action to the want.
Now, that's Eric Thomas, his motivational. He says, like, you have to dream the dream. Like, you got to just make your whole life
Oh
that
yeah.
about whatever your dream is.
No, no, I feel that too. Cause that's a good metaphor, meaning at least how I'm interpreted it, like shit, I wanna have a dream type of life where shit,
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I want to live my dream every day.
Exactly. Where niggas is jealous every day, like, God damn, how's he doing? Like, don't worry, nigga, shit. Get your shit together. But yeah,
You
you know
you
what I
you
mean?
just got to believe in yourself. And then a lot of people's issues too is just too much feeling sorry and self wallowing and going off of whatever was in the past. Like, man, every day that you wake up is a new fucking day. And I love that, especially for someone like me who is a overthinker. I'd be like, don't worry about it. Tomorrow's a new day. You know, it's a new day. You could be whoever you want to be the next day. Like every day, you just have to think of it as a reset. Like that's a lot of people hold on to baggage and whatever happened the week or the day or the month before, and that holds a lot of people back too.
Oh yeah. Like one of my favorite cartoons, at least in the concept, Pinky and the Brain. That's probably way past your time. But
No, I know who that.
them
I
niggas is
know, I know. We're Pinky in the
they,
Brain.
they would be scheming to take over the world every episode, and the shit wouldn't, go left for them, but they'd be back at it the next episode. We're gonna try to do this, goddamn it. We're gonna try this. Like Cat Williams said, trying shit, trying shit, trying shit, trying shit. Like, like ain't no stopping, nigga. Like, shout out to my boy Danny. He said, nigga, I don't give a fuck if I'm 60 until I finally get that Benz, nigga. I'm gonna be grinding until I get everything I want out this bitch.
No, no, for sure. And that's, to me, respectable. Like, you shouldn't give up on something just because you still didn't obtain it. You just got to keep going, keep grinding.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a fact.
But, people also want things to come easy, unfortunately. Um, People think that they're owed something, and it's just like, listen, this earth, this world don't owe you shit.
Yeah, that. And then the other part of the game, if the shit was easy, as they always say, everybody would be doing it if it was easy.
Facts.
Oh yeah,
Facts.
there's
I
a quote
mean,
that says, in order to be successful, you gotta do what unsuccessful people won't.
Yo,
So, whatever, you have to do is separate yourself from people that haven't succeeded in whatever you're trying to do. You have to do something different, right? Maybe they're not consistent. Maybe they're not, thinking outside the box. Maybe they're not, whatever that may be. You have to kind of do what they
and
won't do.
and it's crazy because I'm about being in the spaces on Twitter, right? And some of the young folks was in there. Some of them was like, they mind was receptive to some of the shit I was trying to drop, like literally on the same topic, of trying to just motivate them. And then this one shorty was like, but that's you. Well, you were able to do it. Like, no, I'm trying to say is you can do it too. You know what I mean? You had what I didn't have, which was a nigga like me trying to motivate you, nigga. You know what I mean? Like goddamn. Like this.
people get offended though with that kind of stuff. I don't know why. Like I love when y'all tell me some shit or you know give me a different perspective. But some people get really like angry with that.
And
Like
that's the
because they
ego.
genuinely they genuinely feel like they can't do it.
Yeah, yeah. And the ego, that's the ego because clearly you can't do it, or else you already would have done it. And a motherfucker who's trying to offer the advice on how you could do it or giving you the extra push that you clearly ain't giving yourself is here. You know what I mean? Let me cook, goddamn it. Let me work, nigga. I'm trying to get you put that little foot in your back to get you going. You know what I'm saying? But Shorty wasn't hearing that shit. She was, got into her feelings and this and that and the third. And I was like, well, like, my other shit. I wish the best for you, goddamn it. And nothing ever came from them once, probably even now, unfortunately. But there's inspiration and then there's motivation. The root word in. The inspiration gotta first come from within inside of you. Other niggas ain't built like that, and those other niggas might need the motivation, which is motion, the root word to move. I gotta move your ass to the fucking what did Shorty tell Shay that one time in the thing with the makeup? She said I had to drag these bitches through the ranks.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Dead ass. Like sometimes you gotta just drag a motherfucker to success. And then when they get
Yeah, some
there,
people do need that. They'll do it, but they need a lot of motivation.
like nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like some motherfuckers, you gotta just be. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold you hostage on the road to success. And when you get there, and the shit that you wanted appears, then you can complain and cry. But until then, nigga, we on the way.
Right. No, for sure. People want the success, but and the money and everything that comes with it, but it's a small percentage of people that actually want to do all the work that goes into it.
Exactly. Exactly.
But I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with wanting the quick way, but at the end of the day, you got to know that it's a lot less likely for you to become successful if you're trying to make shortcuts. So
That's
you
what
might
I'm
as well
trying to tell you.
just buckle down and do what you got to do then, because you could start now and then, or you could start in 2 years from now, and 2 years pass, and you could have made hella progress just in that 2 years.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, now is the time. When's the best time to get started? Now, nigga. Like,
Yeah.
for anybody that ever asks you them questions, like just tell them now, motherfucker, right now. Like there is something that you can be doing right now while we talking, such as take a note, nigga. Either put that shit in your phone, type it into your phone, take a picture, do
Like
something
you
to
said, it's pride and ego. A lot of people will not admit, like, yeah, man, I actually do need some help and some motivation. I don't know. I guess we became in this generation, like, we don't want nobody to ever like say, like, oh, we did X, Y, and Z for you, but who cares? If you need the help, get the help. It could propel you to the next level that you didn't even know, but you just got too much pride and too much ego to ask for help. Like that's one thing I had to work on. Like fuck it. Even if they do give me help and later on they throw it in my face, fuck it. At least I know I'm a level up higher.
Exactly. And then the other thing is, like, shit, like, we all have gotten help to some degree, even if we are a still self-made individuals. Somebody might have helped by providing a piece of information that was missing in that mental puzzle that you had 99 pieces of, and they gave you that last one to complete the set. Now I know what to do now. That would still help. You know what I'm saying? Or you got the business plan fleshed out, but now I need funding. So somebody who might have lent you the little first couple hundred to get whatever, or to rent out the spot, or to get this. You know what I mean? Like, pride, the like, in my life regrets, the biggest regrets really is being in them lean times when I didn't have to. And hindsight is always 2020. Like, if I just would have called a friend or a relative and be like, "Yo, I need X, Y, and Z. Can you, hold me down for this minute and I'll get you back," or whatever. The shit that I went through that was this long might only been this short. You know what I'm saying? Or the process of me trying to figure out how to do this one thing, instead of it taking 6 months, if I would have just, humble myself and asked the motherfucker that I knew how to do it, I would have learned how to do that same thing in maybe 4 weeks to like a month, rather than taking 6 months to try to figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? But we got to get past ourselves to get to where we trying to go.
Exactly. It's just, and you got to surround yourself with those people, man. If you're surrounded by people who wallow with you, man, leave those people alone. Or people who just always complaining, people who just aren't trying to have that positive outlook and sit there and wallow with you. As much as you might think that's a good person or a good thing, no. You got to leave those people alone and get around people who truly are motivated and truly are working towards something them damn selves every day.
Oh no, that's a fact. Like, there's a difference between being a good listener and being a good friend. I'm gonna let that just sink in for a minute. Like, okay, I can listen to your shit all day as the good listener, but if I'm a good friend, I'm gonna be like, all right, nigga, I hear you, I understand, I've absorbed the emotions of what you were trying to convey to me, but now what is the solution? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely gotta surround yourself with, people that's making moves for sure.
Yeah, because I mean that was for me probably like the biggest thing too. Just like putting myself in different environments and putting myself around people maybe that I wouldn't have prior, and that just gave me a different perspective, that even with this investing shit, meeting you guys and just all the different information we've shared across each other.
Yeah. And it's what the hell?
There's
What?
power in being around people who are trying to do the same thing you are, but people get swooped up in that, oh, but I've known them for so long. I don't give a fuck if I've known you for 31 years that I've been on this planet. If you not bringing me an ROI, how bad that sounds, you got to go. And I
Oh,
don't mean just financially, I mean
no,
even emotionally. If you
that's
are not
that's real
if you
talk.
are not like bringing, no, I don't care. Yes, I will look at our relationship as transactional. I don't have time. Like, I just don't have time to be around people who are just always complaining, never trying to change their situation. And a lot of people stay with people like that because they're comfortable or because they feel bad because they've known them for X, Y, and Z amount of time.
Yeah, so
But it
even
can also get contagious too when you around people that this all the time bring your mood down. Like if you around somebody where you every time you talk to them, like you get depressed and sad, be like, yeah, I can't do it because it's like you know you're bringing me down, you're bringing my energy down. You know, you can be there for somebody at times, you know, as they need you or whatever, but consistently, you know, that can really you know, damage your spirit and stuff and your energy that you got going on
psychic
as
vampire.
well. For real. Be like, why do I feel depressed getting off the phone in this conversation? Like, what?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, I was
cause
fine before I got on the phone.
No, for real. No, for real. I had to stop that too because I'm the strong friend. So, especially when you're the strong friend or that strong person in your group, most people calling you because they think you can take it, which you can. But it's like I had to stop that shit because I'm like you said, it was just I felt like I was becoming negative and I was complaining because when you're talking to someone who's complaining or really not trying to change their situation, you find yourself like doing the same, like, well, yeah, don't
Mhm.
worry, I feel you too, like I went through X, Y, and Z last week, and I haven't been able to achieve this goal, and I haven't, versus talking to someone who's like, man, like, you might not want be where you're at right now, but look at all the accolades that you have achieved. So it's just that person that has that think out, like, that mind frame that they're optimistic, because those pessimists, boy.
Mhm.
but it's energy, like that energy is important. Like when you talking with people, even with you in like with them in person, like you are you taking on some of their energy. You know what I mean? So like you just
Yeah.
said, like if you get in constant negative as far as being the shoulder to cry on and being that strong friend, because I'm like that to man people, friends, family, or whatever. And then it get taken I know for a fact that should take an emotional toll because it gets to a point like, God damn, I'm taking on the weight of everybody else's shit, but there ain't nobody to take on my motherfucking weight, and now my weight is multiplied because I done took on your weight. Like that
Yes.
ass.
Exactly.
Like what I
Exactly.
always be
Yeah.
telling y'all. Sometimes you gotta break down to break through. Like nigga, this shit is real out here.
Yeah. No, I mean, that is. Because, like, who is there for you? Like, sorry, I got to be there for myself.
But going back even to like the friend thing though, in general, even in the most basic terms, a friend is somebody who is should be doing for you like you doing for them. Like like y'all go to the mall and like somebody was saying in one of these podcasts very recently, like niggas can't come to with me to the mall if they don't know how to fight. I think it might have been Pusha T. He was like, if you
That's
if you
funny.
if you don't know how to fight, as like as a teenager, you couldn't come with me to the mall. If you my boy, meaning, and if your ass about to get jumped, I'm gonna fight for you. You better be ready to fight for me.
No, facts.
You know what I mean? It's
Facts.
the same thing. You know what I mean? Shit. I come over to your house and hang out or whatever. We on the little PlayStation, whatever. And I'm talking from like a young, boy type perspective. And while I'm over there, your parents are asking you to do chores, and then I just want to help because I'm a good friend. Nigga, if you over my house and my parents got me raking the yard, nigga, I expect your ass to grab that other motherfucking rake and get moving too, nigga. Let
That's funny.
dead ass. Like, don't be over my house and I'm busting some sweat and you ain't out there putting in that work with me, nigga. You ain't a friend. If you sitting there just chilling while
Mhm.
I'm thugging it out, then that's showing your character. You know what I mean? In a later on or a more severe situation, I could be going through some ill shit and you just gonna sit on it and spectate rather than participate. You ain't a friend. To me, friend is an action word. It ain't a fucking, Trish, you the professor. I don't even know what the fuck friend is. Is it a verb, a noun?
It can be both depending on the context of the use in a sentence.
But yeah.
And now, like, you know, that's my friend or being a friend, as, you know, action behind it. Yep.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that shit don't exist these days, man. Like, people do not care, which is fine. I mean, you know, I think it's fine at the end of the day if you don't have like that want to kind of be a good friend, but I think it speaks a lot to you as a person if you if you don't if there's instances where I know like nah, I can't even rely on you, and I don't even like to rely on people.
Exactly. Because even the
But
most,
people,
oh yeah, no, you do it.
no, go ahead. No.
No, even the most independent people still have somebody that they could depend on in the cut. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, everybody should have at least someone that they can depend on. Like, if shit went all the way left and hit the fan, you know what I'm saying? As they say, that I could trust with my life.
Yeah, that's why I learned like you can't call everybody your friend. And I never really was someone who did, but you gotta allow people to show their true colors.
Yeah. And that's why, at least from my era of life, when I was younger around y'all, well, not even younger, not your age, but even younger in my 20s, like we would just, say you either a friend or an associate. An associate is
Oh yeah, that was the word, associate. Yeah, we associate, but we're not friends. Yep, you have associates and you have friends.
exactly. I don't fuck with you like that. I might hang out with you at the club one time or, smoke some blunts with you, but like, what I mean, on some push come to shove, or if I really need some shit, I ain't relying on your ass because, what I mean, you haven't shown no good qualities to that level.
And I'm
Yep,
saying that's
there's
why I
definitely a
was so
difference.
offended. Oh, sorry, Trisha, go ahead.
But I would say there's definitely a difference. That's all.
Yeah, that's why I was so offended by, what I was telling y'all about the other night, because I just like that shit offends me. I just feel like time that I put into people or time that I am taking from doing whatever I'm doing, especially emotionally, should be respected and reciprocated. And when it's not, that shit just feels, disrespectful to me.
Yeah.
But that's why I cut a lot of people off. Not because they weren't doing like really what they should have been doing, I guess, as a friend. But it's just like, bro, you expect all this from me, but I can't even call you for a ride to the mechanics store up the street.
No, so it's funny, like on some shit like that. So I think I told y'all.
Nah, y'all know my story that I asked Shorty to take me to the car lot, and she was talking about she had to go meet a man, and I'm like, huh? Like, it's cool, I got it, but now don't ever ask me to take your ass somewhere.
Exactly. Like, and that's crazy, right? Like, well, my shit broke down in the middle of the night on the side of 285, and I called who I thought was my man's. I thought he was a friend. It's like, yo, dog, I'm chilling with my girl. Okay, well, you and your girl come and fucking get me, nigga. The fuck are you talking about? I'm chilling with my girl. Like, all right, nigga, to never be seen again, nigga.
Right, right.
If I
It's
was
just
with,
like,
if I'm
what?
chilling with my girl and we ain't like full fledged fucking, and then even then, if you are a friend, if me and my shorty are even smashing and all that, and the phone ring, and it's like, yo, shit, if like we was in the same city or something, and it's you Bree calling or Trish, Dre, such and such, my car broke down, or my son, him and his friends was out, but their car broke down on close to your side. Can you come and scoop them, or whatever, whatever? I got you. We gonna stop everything that we doing and drop that shit, and we going to get and attend to them. You know what I'm saying? There ain't even no question of should I. The question is how quickly can I get there? And then like on that same energy, the shit that my mentor um said when I first met him that always stuck with me. Like when I hit him the first time on the phone or whatever, he answered. He said, "How can I help you?" Like that's always been his shit. Like when he answered the phone, I don't know if he said that with everybody else, but with me, how can I help you? You know what I mean? I never need help, but he did help me make a lot of money. So yes, he did.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But that's see, so that goes back to the other component, even what you saying of friendship. It's not necessarily always a transactional, but there should always be a gain. Like I fuck with you because I've invested enough time, emotion into you. You are my friend. You know what I mean? An
exactly.
associate, you ain't thinking about them niggas no more than you thinking about a fly that flew past. So, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So you are investing a lot of times emotions, you are investing time into a real friend. And then, it could go further where y'all actually done, invested money and made money together and all that fly shit. But at the end of the day, that person should be your priority and you should be their priority, period.
Yeah, no, for sure. Nah,
Like,
for
like,
sure.
like,
And I mean,
mhm, yeah.
especially when you somebody who, provides vibes and provides like a life, like a fun life to somebody. Like I just feel like people think like they forget that like okay, yeah, every like it is supposed to be fun when it comes to a friendship and we are supposed to be doing things and enjoying life, but like yeah, I should be able to call you if you are my friend. If
Ex-
not, then no, you are not my friend. Sorry.
Exactly. Because once again, life ain't fucking candy canes and rainbows every day and cotton candy and shit. There's gonna be some hardships where a motherfucker need to come through. Those are the
Exactly.
those are the tests of the relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, people did get really hurt during COVID, I think, and people did get really jaded, especially people who were like, alone for real and really didn't have nobody. And like, I think a lot of people just became like those people. They never, went back. That's why I always say, like, bro, everyone's angry. Not everyone, but a good percentage of America is just angry. And I'm just like, it was from COVID. Not saying we lived in this fucking euphoria before COVID, but people had more interactive skills, people cared more, people were just like interacted more in society. And it was just like those, I guess you would say, 2.5 years, really, really messed people up.
Yeah, probably. Shit. I ain't, I told you about, my guy over here. But, even though it's slightly different circumstances, I ain't seen my so-called best friend here. Like, I only seen him like maybe 2 times during the whole pandemic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And people want you to reach out. Like, bro, it got to be equal. I'm not reaching out every time. Like, reach out, and like that's why that pride is a motherfucker, and that's why I can't fuck with prideful people. It's one thing to like stand on business and stand on how you feel if someone disrespects you, but if I'm constantly hitting you up and then I do a test like and I ain't hear from you in 3 weeks because I didn't hit you, nigga. I don't want nothing to do. Nigga, bitch, whatever. I don't want nothing to do with you because that's crazy that I always have to be the one to reach out.
Yeah, exactly. It go back to that, 50-50 concept. Because if I'm always reaching out, then I'm going to look at myself like, what the fuck is wrong with you, nigga? Like, why you keep reaching out to somebody that don't want to reach back? And now I got to cut you off. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
And then when you cut a
Yeah,
motherfucker
it
off,
definitely happens.
and then it'd be like the moment you cut them off, then shortly after, motherfuckers want to try to reach out and shit. It's too late now, nigga.
Right. Yes, exactly. That is so funny. Yeah, because they realize they done fucked up. Like, bro, one thing about me that everybody knows about me, like, I need about a year. I just finally started talking back to a girl that pissed me off, like, about in October of 2023. I finally just really started to forgive her and talk to her probably about 2 months ago, because I just feel like, and it was only because she came to my son's birthday party and really showed up and showed out and, was there and got a gift and, really was trying to, make up for, the reason I was mad at her originally.
Yeah.
So, those kind of things, like I stand on that, because listen, I know what type of person you got. Like you say, Dre, know your value. You got to know as a person too. Fuck it, I'm a great friend. So even if I have no friends because I'm standing on wanting, an ROI or an equal, relationship, like that's cool. And that's what a lot of people struggle with. I realize a lot of people do not know how to be alone, which is crazy, because
Mm,
I'm just like, bro, at the end of the day, you don't need somebody else to make you feel whole. And sometimes people be with somebody and they still feel empty. So it's like, fuck it, just feel empty.
yeah, or work your shit out by yourself until you ready to,
Yeah.
because you got to get your shit figured out before you fuck with somebody else. You don't want to have your shit fucked up still, and then you got somebody else who now fucked up.
But see, that's what happens, right? So
Yeah, you don't know
they never
exactly.
work on themselves because they go from relationship to relationship, and they don't know how to be by themselves, so they can't work on nothing because they never sit still enough to be like, okay, let me work on me. And then it gets, and then they compound. So you move to another relationship or another marriage or whatever the case is, and then you compounding that person's issues on top of what you already dealing with that you haven't even worked out because you're moving. You keep moving from relationship to relationship. So that's what happens a lot with people too. We just don't know how. Just like now, it's hard for us to be still. Like we gotta be on our phone. We got like sometimes we just need to spend time with ourselves for a little bit.
No, that's a fact.
I think that would help a lot of people out if they could just know how to be alone. And it would help, not like less people would be, hurtful, and a lot hurtful. Less people would be hurt because, a lot of people, like I said, are putting themselves around people or with people that they don't even really fucking care about, but they just don't want to be alone.
Exactly. And it's it's unfortunate, but it goes back to self love. It goes back to self esteem. I think self esteem, which ties into the self love, like a lot of people have been taught, I think not only at home but through society, to that love is supposed to come from some external source, like a motherfucking AC or a heater from a space heater. Like the love is supposed to come. No, that shit supposed to come from inside of you first, nigga.
Yes, yes. And that's a lot of people's problems. They don't they look for love in others for themselves. And I'm like, bro, see, that's why I can't relate. Because I love me more than anybody and I don't care. And that's why me and relationships never end up lasting longer than like 2.5, years or 3 years, because I think a lot of people expect you to, be with them or be their friend, whether it's, whether it is a sexual relationship or whether it's just a friendship. They expect you to kind of, not even compromise, because you should compromise, but maybe they expect you to accept something that you don't want to accept just because they feel like, oh, well, we've been in this relationship or we've been in this friendship for XYZ. No, I'm sorry. If it's not fulfilling me, I got to go.
Exactly. And it's like any other
Because
relationship.
then I'm gonna treat you bad. Then we gonna really fall out, and then we gonna really be beefed out. And that, like, to me, that's never worth it. So I just like, for shit. Once shit start getting rocky, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna head out, because it's never worth it to me. But people do that toxic shit and love that toxic shit of, well, we've been together for this long, or we've been friends for this long. We have to work it out, and it's like, no,
Yeah.
sometimes you don't.
Yeah. Sometimes you might just not even have to have a fallout. Sometimes you just outgrow the person. You know.
Yes, literally.
You
Like
know.
sometimes you just not that person no more. We all change. We all go through shit. So I might not be that same breed that fucked with you the way I fucked with you last year.
And then niggas hit you with the, oh well, you changed, like, nigga, That's the purpose of us being on this
You're
planet, to
supposed
evolve,
to, bro.
learn, change, learn some more, evolve, grow. It's a cycle of changes that you're supposed to constantly be going through. So the same niggas who I sat with on the crate on Lewis Avenue in 1994, if they still sitting on that same crate in 2025 on the block on the corner, like nigga, we not in the same universe. You know what I'm saying? Or if you smoked 1,000 blunts a day, still at this old age, and ain't really trying to do shit productive in life, you in a different universe from me. You know what I mean? We ain't even in the same fucking state, the same country, the same planet right now.
That's what I was saying the other day for
Exactly.
seasons. Everything has a season, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whoever it is. Like people are in our lives for different seasons, and then they fulfill their purpose for that season, and then you move on. And sometimes it may not be nothing that happened. Over the years had friends and like, dang, we just lost touch or just didn't, but they were there. We were close for that season. Nothing bad happened. It's just life. Period. You just evolve and just move. And people serve their purpose in certain seasons of your life.
Exactly. What they say, as my boy Techie would always say, you know, your life is a movie. You know what I mean? You the star of the shit. So these different people, some of these people might be co-stars, some of them just might be fucking extras in the background.
Yep, you're right. Or guest stars, right? Like the
Exactly.
shows they have somebody come
Exactly.
in.
Season 3 of Trish.
They
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a fact.
Yeah, that's life. Like the old people say, you live and learn. Just keep living because you experience so much, changes and just different things with life.
Well, shoot, I guess that wrap up this episode. Touched on a couple of different things from motivations to the meaning of friendship, what a true friend is. Shit, we'll be back on y'all ass next time. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all coming through. Tune
Catch
in,
us on the next episode.
like,
Bitch, we
subscribe,
got the motherfucking tea and we got
share,
the motherfucking
comment.
keys to life.
You know what I'm saying? If y'all got stories, or if y'all got topics that y'all would love us to talk about, feel free to drop them shits into the comments and we'll get at you.
Bye.
Thank y'all for rocking with me, supporting the channel. If you're loving the content, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, hit the Cash App if you definitely feeling it. And even if you want to make special requests of future content that you would like to see me do videos on, that's what it's there for. Every dollar helps the channel grow bigger, better, quality over time. So with that said, I'll holla at y'all. Thank you. I appreciate it.